Audio Jungle.
And very distinguished colleagues, permit me to lead the debate of this very important bill, which seeks to provide for the establishment of the Federal University of Agriculture and Tropical Studies, Iragbiji, Osun State. The bill was read for the first time in this hallowed chamber today, Wednesday, 2nd October 2024. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, this bill is a bold step towards not only addressing the educational needs of the populace, but it will also serve as training ground for the development of agriculturists in the country. Agriculture, with its allied sectors, is unquestionably the largest livelihood provider, more also in the rural areas, and can contribute significantly to the GDP. Demand for agricultural products is rising rapidly with increase in population and per capita income and growing demand from industrial sector. The university will provide the holistic development of agriculture and tropical studies, knowledge skills, and the telescopic vision on the future that will help them contribute to accelerated agricultural growth rate and enhance farmers' income and generate employment in the sector. This will give the students a platform to enable the country to achieve self-sufficiency in food, reduce poverty, and bring economic transformation to millions of rural families. The objectives for which the university is established, among others, are to encourage the advancement of learning and to hold out to all persons without distinction of race, creed, sex, or political conviction the opportunity of acquiring tertiary education in agriculture and tropical studies. Act as agents and catalysts through postgraduate training, research, and innovation for the effective and economic utilization, exploitation, and conservation of the country's agricultural resources. It will also offer to the general population, particularly in the area of agriculture, tropical studies, as a form of public service, the results of training and research, and to foster the practical applications of these results. Identify the problems and needs of the agriculture sector in Nigeria, and to find solutions to them within the context of overall national development, and also provide and promote sound basic scientific training as a foundation for the development of agriculture and tropical studies in Nigeria, taking into account indigenous cultures and the need to enhance national unity. One noticeable feature in the development of universities in Nigeria is the emergence of specialized universities. Most of these focus on science and technology, hence the need to establish the Federal University of Agriculture and Tropical Studies, Iragbiji, Osun State, to increase the number of agricultural universities. This will help the back-to-land policy of the federal government to ensure the diversification of our national economy. Agriculture is key, and the drivers of this, to me, are products from the universities of agriculture. I therefore advocate for the establishment of more universities of agriculture and tropical studies across the country. In line with our Order 76-3, the Compendium of Financial Implication is hereby attached. It is in view of this and many more valid points that cannot be exhausted in this short debate that I urge you, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, to please support this bill and recommend its accelerated passage. I thank you.
Dismissed Senator Olare.
Mr. President of the Senate, distinguished colleagues, my name is Kamaruddin Olalere Oyewumi. I represent the good people of Osun West Senatorial District in Osun State. Mr. President, I rise to strongly support and second the motion moved by the President of the Senate on the establishment of the Federal University of Agriculture and Tropical Studies, Iragbiji, Osun State. Mr. President, in tune with the realities of our modern time, on the concentration on specialized institutions, and Osun State being in a very fertile soil, where all type of crops are grown in large and commercial quantities, it will help not only Osun State but the entire country very well if this kind of specialized institution is cited in Osun State as a training ground for the modern day agriculturists and then agricultural officers, extension officers that are going to help our farmers in their day-to-day operations. So this is going to help us a lot in the country. And you know, one of the agitation now is that people should go back to the land. I don't want to go back to the hoes and cutlass type of farming. We want to modernize. And here, training and retraining is the thing of the moment. So I want to strongly support this motion and urge our colleagues to support us so that this very important institution may be cited in Osun State. I so second. Thank you, Mr. President.
Deputy Senate President.
First of all, let me commend the sponsor of this very, very important bill. Mr. President, the clamor over the years in this country is that we should diversify economy. We can no longer continue to be a mono-product economy, depending on oil alone. And the stance is that we should enhance our agricultural sector to make it vibrant, to make it up and running, so that we'll be able to feed ourselves and also produce necessary raw materials for our industries. This is what is happening all over the world. No country can be said to be economically buoyant without an up and running, up and doing agricultural sector. And we can never be an exception. Now, how do we do that? We must produce the manpower that will engage in modern agricultural production. We can no longer going to be, practicing subsistence farming. It's not possible. And the trend all over the world is mechanized farming. And how do you produce the personnel that do that? It's through training. Through training in universities such as this. So this university will go a long way to produce necessary manpower. We need to drive our intention to have an up and doing and up and running agricultural sector. So this is a welcome idea. A welcome idea. Not only this, in Osun State, we should have more. We should have more. The more, the merrier. It's therefore very important. And I don't think it doesn't even need much debate because it's something that is very straightforward. We need to have a sound agricultural sector in this country. Mechanized. We need to train people that will engage in mechanized farming. It's no longer you go, you plant and no. Use new agricultural techniques, machineries to drive the agricultural production process in this country. And this is what this university will do. I therefore urge my colleagues to support this bill so that we can have this institution established in Osun State, in Iragbiji in Osun State. I call my colleagues, please support this bill so that we get it passed as soon as possible. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
The science sector is an excited field that I believe, if it's not going to be out of place, we should have this type of university, specialized university in all of our states in the country. Sincerely, I align myself with all that has been said by Senator Barrow, and considering the importance of this university to our nation at this time. Not only will it enable the farmers, it also create to enable better job and career opportunities for our young one. This is the route to go. And considering the fact that a lot have been said about the land in Osun State being good and that will enable us to be able to do this in large scale, I rise to support that the establishment of Digital University because of its importance, because of its contribution to enable food production in our country. I support this motion, and I recommend that all of my mates or my colleagues should please give this bill the required support. Thank you.
Olamilekon, representing Ogun West Senatorial District in the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. President, distinguished colleague, I want to thank the mover of this bill and also to thank all those that have contributed in favor of this bill. Mr. President, this bill cannot come at a time that is better than this. And by the heading, it's Federal University of Agriculture and Tropical Studies. The state which this university is to be located is an agrarian state. The major natural resources or the major job for that state is agriculture. So having an institution like this at this point in time located in this state is a wonderful and a welcome development. So, for whatever it was, and this is the first agric institution that is coming to that state. 90% of what comes in as revenue to that state is from agric. Yes, they have been mentioning the deposit of gold and everything, but we have not seen it coming out in commercial quantity. The only thing they have in commercial quantity is agric produce. So having an institution of this nature situated in this area is a welcome development. And that shows we are trying also to put the state as one of the foremost states to lead in the business of agriculture. And sir, to say this, we are saying we have to diversify this economy. And the only way to go is agriculture. So bringing or coming up with this kind of bill at this point in time is a welcome development. And if you look at the bill, the compendium is in accordance with Section 73 of the financial implication to be attached to this bill. So I want to urge my colleague to give all their support so that we can have this institution established in this part of the country. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Is there anybody that is opposed to this and supports it? Am I right? So let me just add a voice that very recently that I launched what I call Back to Farm Initiative. A Back to Farm Initiative in my senatorial district. And I urge all my colleagues to do so. And I use the opportunity of the distribution of the fertilizers to do so. And I believe strongly within the next 6 months to 1 year, we shall have bountiful harvest. There is no any nation that that wants to boast of greatness can only boast of greatness if it can feed itself. So I believe also, from my perspective, that this is a welcome development. So I want to thank all my colleagues for supporting this bill. And I now put the question. Those in support that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate, the bill. Distinguished colleagues, a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Agriculture and Tropical Studies, Iragbiji, Osun State, and make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration and for related matters 2024 SB 569. Second reading taken. This bill is now referred to the Committee on Tertiary education, and telephone. To report back to the Senate within the next, two committees. Two committees. So he's suggesting that we should add I believe he should go to the Committee on Tertiary Education and telephone. What will Agri do? Agri does not establish institutions. Tertiary. Thank you, Prof, for the correction. Thank you for supporting me, Prof. Thank you. So, and to report back to the Senate in 3 weeks. Leader of the Senate.
Audio Jungle.